problem is as well, you don't want to waste your slick tires either, because if you go out on the first run on these slicks, it's still quite wet down there.
Look at the rear spinning.
Yeah.
Well, that would be the main reason that someone like Russell wouldn't bother, because you're not going to learn anything on this tyre particularly.
Exactly. So it's a difficult situation for these teams. They want to waste a set of slick tires, just helping them, basically helping the series drive the track. Can they learn anything? Different every track, but I mean, even in the F1 Academy qualifying last night, you saw how powerful the toe, the draft was. I mean, the pole time came from a massive toe down the back straight, and these Formula One teams will be looking for the same thing. If they're struggling for that extra 2-3 tenths, and one of the drivers happens to nail the perfect toe down the straight, it's really hard to fight that unless you kind of you use your teammate and you do some strategy to make it happen.
Fantastic shot there, looking down on the purpose-built.
Yeah, I'd say we're within probably 10 minutes. A lot of folks volunteering to go on slick tires.
I think it might be advisable to be after your intermediates. Well, you have a limited number of them, but hopefully you're not going to need them, unless they follow a race in which you get abundant tires. But I mean, if you just want to the inters,
not a lot of laps get to be done in this race weekend, so you gotta try to get some learning in. Larger than normal.
Yeah. Oh. Something's blown up, and I don't think that's connected to the car in any way.
Yeah.
But he's run onto something that doesn't look like a part of the circuit.
A small piece there.
Maybe, yeah.
force, you're not going to want to keep thumping around.
Oh, absolutely.
Really impressed by RB yesterday anyway. They were showing very nice indeed. Both Agile and Lawson up there in the top 10.
It would certainly make qualifying an extra level of exciting if it does start raining again. These teams really aren't able to do much on the slick tire. There's so much work to be done, and there's so many things I'm sure everyone wants to get an idea of what will be not only for the race, but doing heavy fuel loads, long stints, and they haven't been able to do it yet.
Well, still looking at the tires. Nobody venturing out yet. Green that you see here on Russell's car, but he's finally out there.
Music to a fan.
I know, I was just going to say, it's a beautiful note, isn't it, when it's at top on. I'm going to miss these cars. I really enjoyed this area, especially with the bigger tyres and the longer cars. Some people don't like. I've got a feeling in my water, as they say. Pierre Gasly is due a good qualifying at least. I don't know how the race will go, but he's shown some form of late, and I know he likes this track. He was talking on the stage to the crowd.
I couldn't hate sitting in the pit anymore. As soon as drivers are out there, I'm like, I'm switching to go.
Let's watch these next few laps finishing. Max Verstappen goes 1:39.156. That's the fastest lap of the weekend so far.
Of the session.
Now is Lewis still on his...
Of course, sorry, yeah. Lawson goes second quickest, Leclerc third, Hadjar in fourth. Good running by the RBs.
This comes in, and they might have a whole list of things on their test list that they saw them able to get through.
So it's not just a case of not showing what you've got, it's more a case of why waste the lap.
We just don't know. Maybe there's that little bit more we can get out of it.
Exactly.
Getting a great shot of the Amex atmosphere, and the Academy Cup will be coming up very soon.
Looked like a
enough spray to be
He's on
comfortable on the wet tire.
Yeah, he's on the wet.
I would much rather be on the wet for this type of condition.
And that is the reason I think Lando has said keep an eye on them, because obviously they want to see what they can do on full wets, because I thought intermediates, but now I'm looking at the tracks with the cars on it, I would say wets is probably a better option. It's that wet.
One thing you have to look out for on this track specifically in street courses, all the paint. Yeah, there's road paint that you see that indicates a left-hand turn lane and right-hand turn lane. All of those surfaces are extra slick, and you see.
Keep an eye on the Astons.
Well, if the wily old fox was going to do it, here's the time to do it in. He's had a pretty mediocre season by his standards, and he's looking to take Aston to their new future. He's certainly just really a car that will be worthy of his two-time World Championships. Looking for that third, perhaps. Well, that's a long way off. Right now, it's all
And remember what they always say, rain is the great equalizer, right? They were not happy with their car yesterday in the dry conditions. Aston Martin was struggling, but this could be an opportunity for them to be competitive.
No question.
Yeah, aquaplaning. Can't keep it on the track.
Well, you heard it there, aquaplaning, and if you don't know what that means, literally, you literally, it's like sliding across a puddle. You don't have any grip, and you just start floating.
Watch the, whoops. I was going to say, his left front as he was turning to the right was just stopped. You could count the treads on the tire, and then when he got the car back on balance, it spun.
Yeah, it does look like right now the intermediate is just. It is the faster tire. You'd like to make it work, but there is enough water to where the wet tire lets. Going to have tomorrow.
Well, ironically, there's no rain expected tomorrow. That's I don't want to jinx it. It could be very different, and therefore we could have a grid that we won't expect, a race that we didn't expect at all, and a championship that could turn on its head.
These are everyday streets here in Las Vegas. Yeah, so they have a crown higher in the middle than it is at the shoulders, unlike a racetrack, which is likely to be dead level. So you're going to get better runoff of storm water.
Another simple mistake that could be made in these conditions is just visibility full stop. Just where and how fast you're coming up on the opponent. We mentioned it in the dry conditions in the previous session that, who's in front, but what's the closing speed? And in these visual conditions, even tougher.
Well, I mean, so much of this. Right? Yeah. So and understanding where a car.
Verstappen, Lawson, Gasly, Alonso, Leclerc, and Piastri.
Just did it.
Well done, won it all.
Las Vegas, we having a good time? That's what we love to hear. I'm gonna need some help.
Boy, as soon as I see that mirrored finish on the track, I think, slow down.
Well, that was pretty smooth by King George. Not doing probably seconds, but he's doing a lot of green. He does go to fifth fastest.
And right now, this is almost a 2-minute lap. So as we get closer to only 4 minutes to go, you're only going to see these guys with one shot, maybe two, if they get lucky.
It looks painfully slow, doesn't it?
Yeah. That section is the most difficult it looks like right now.
Well, Piastri's holding on to his title hopes with both hands, and and the steering wheel at the moment. He leads the way, but somebody is ready to topple him in these last 3.5 minutes.
What a boost for Piastri.
Yeah, big
Pull this
time.
off ahead of his teammate.
Well, I said, didn't I, at the end of Q2?